What's up, everyone? It's Matt Mrozik, and this is the latest off the bench. Just finished these guys up yesterday. I've got a few little touch-ups to do in here and there, but this is 2 Last Level Wolverines for the same client. So, really cool project. So, we painted them exactly the same, except for obviously the one on the right, he's been through some stuff. He was a lot of fun to do. So, I was sent one unpainted kit and one piece that was painted. So it's kind of a mishmash of what's been painted and what hasn't been painted. So on the left side, the clean version, the skin tones are the original skin tones. He liked those and he wanted me to match those on the one on the right. So on the left side, everything was the unpainted kit except for the skin tones. On the left, everything is the unpainted kit except for the skin tones. On the right, everything is the pre-painted part except for the skin tones. And the reason I did the dirty one, I did the pre-painted one as the dirty version is because his right leg was broken down here and shipping. It was glued together and it broke off. It wasn't glued on correctly. It actually wasn't seated in the boot all the way. So I had to fix that, and my repair isn't 100%. It's okay, but it's not perfect because I had to kind of carve it out, add some rods, glue it down, and it's just I couldn't get sandpaper in there. So anyway, I decided to dirty up the pre-painted body to kind of hide some of that. And you'll see that his right leg is dirty and bloodier just to kind of hide some of that. So my client wanted to do a few things. He wanted to, first of all, he didn't like the height of the bases. So let me show you what the bases looked like originally. So I've done this kit, I think 3 other times. And so the original base is this with this part on top. So I cut the top off both bases with the Dremel. One base was completely full of foam and the other one was half full of foam. So the one that was half full of foam, I've topped it off with expandable foam. I let that expand for 3 days, and then I cut the foam off, and then I filled in the top with resin. That way, if he ever decides to sell these in the future, if someone buys it, they can simply put the part that was cut off on top. So I flattened and smoothed the top of this part, and I did the same thing on the bottom side of the parts that were cut off. So on the underside of these, I filled them with resin, sanded them smooth. And originally I was going to put magnets and pins, but we didn't want to spend too much time on all that. But the fit is so good that when you put it on there, it's like a vacuum. It doesn't move because they're so flat. So, because my client didn't like how tall the bases were. So he's like, can we cut those up? It's like, sure, why not? We can try to cut them up. So that was the first kind of challenge, was cutting the tops of the base off, getting that all fixed. That added a couple days to the project. And then the second challenging part was trying to match the skin tones that he originally had. And in the end, my skin tones really didn't matter too much because he's so dirty and bloody. They don't even, they look similar, but mostly in the highlights. But yeah, because I dirtied and bloodied the crap out of this. He's like, have fun with it, do what you think looks best. And so yesterday I just spent the day bloodying and dirtying this guy up. So he was a lot of fun to do. So yeah, so they're painted exactly the same, except for this one has dirt and blood all over them. So it's quite a difference. You can see how much warmer this one looks. It's got the brown washes, some dark washes, plus the blood sponged on and splattered. It just warms everything up. I mean, he looks like he's been through the ringer. He was a lot of fun to do. This is sculpted by Franco Carlissimo. Like I said, I've done this kit, I think 2 other times, maybe 3 other times. So this would have been number 3 and 4, or number 4 and 5. I don't remember correctly. So this guy reached out to me because he saw the one I did for Themi in person. He's friends with Themi, and he saw his paint up in person, and he contacted me. He's like, I really like what you did there. I want to do basically the same thing for a clean version, but I want to do a dirty version too. Like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. So this guy took just right at 2 weeks. Again, without having to do cutting the tops off and repairs and stuff, this guy takes me right at like 38 hours. If I was just to get an unpainted kit and start from scratch, it's about 38 hours. So the skin tones took a little bit longer because I was trying to match these skin tones. Otherwise, I probably would have gotten them done in a day. But the skin tones took me like 2 days just to I was kind of going back and forth, trying to match them as closely as I could. And I think they got pretty damn close. Mine are slightly warmer than his, but again, once I get all the blood and stuff on there, it really doesn't matter. And he likes the mass portraits anyway. So there are a ton of switch outs on these guys. I'm not going to spend a ton of time switching out the arms, but basically you've got, for each kid, you've got, let's see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different left arms. And then you got, let's see, 2 different, I think there's 6 altogether. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So you have 4 different left arms and 2 different right arms. And it just depends on how they're bent. So like if I take this one out, I gotta watch. I don't want to scratch anything. I'm going to separate these guys a little bit so I can. So I take this guy out and I put this one in. His hand's just bent a little differently. See? So you got that. I can take this out and he's got a cigar. So if he's not, so he's got this one. I personally like either kind of like this look where he's got the cigar in his mouth or where he's holding a cigar. I like this one because it's like he just got done killing a bunch of dudes and he's just chilling, having a smoke. They each have 4 heads, 3 masked and 1 unmasked. So we got that one. We got the one where he's holding a cigar. We got this one where he's just kind of pissed looking. And then we have the unmasked. Now my client says he's not going to use the unmasked portrait, but I actually liked it a lot. I actually like my skin tones on the unmasked better than what was sent to me. So I actually have to look at mine. They're pretty damn close. I actually have to look at the eyes because my eyes are a little bit different than. So this one is the unmasked that I painted. I actually really like the unmasked portrait on this one, but it's got a good expression. Franco did a really good job on the sculpt. Again, the muscle tone I think is right. It's perfect. He's not too jacked. Eric Sosa, I like Eric Sosa's sculpts, but he tends to overly exaggerate the muscle sometimes, and a little too much in my opinion. So if I spin this guy around, you can see I just went to town with blood and dirt and grime. I just had a lot of fun doing it. And this was just done with, again, washes, and I bought a couple of transparent blood colors, and I just would build it up as it dried. I'd add more blood. I left all the blood shiny so it looks wet and fresh. This guy's kind of got a matte finish. The claws came like that. They're metal claws. So if we spin this guy's around, you can see the shading and stuff. So the yellow is a bitch of a color. To me, it's the hardest color to do, but it turned out really well. I'm really happy with it. So the shading just with the translucent brown. He just requested not to have it quite as punchy as Themis, and this is just a little slightly not quite as punchy as what I did on Themis. So on Themis, I think I went a little darker on the deep shadows, but I think it looks really good. So yeah, we spin this guy around. I kept the back pretty clean, not too much blood. Actually, see, I got something. I dropped my pot of paint yesterday, and I just saw this, like, oh crap. But I'm gonna leave it because it's blood splatter. So, and it's not gonna come off anyway. But yeah, so I did all the blood. I just with a brush and some sponging, and then I went in with a brush. You dip your brush in the paint and then use your airbrush to blow air through the bristles of the brush. And you get this really cool splatter effect. You get different shapes and sizes, and it just looks really, really natural. I kept the unmasked portrait on this one clean. I didn't put any blood on it. And man, I love this one a lot. This one's cool, but this is the one I'd want. he just looks badass. I love it. Let's see what other arms. So for the other arm, for your other right arm, you have bent arm. Or is it, no, it's a straight arm. That's what I just put in. Oh, that's what I just took out, right? Hell, I don't know. Wait, this is the only other option for right arm. It's just kind of straight down. So you can do, come on, there we go. You can do 2 kind of straight down, 2 like that, or a cigar, or a bent arm. So yeah, so you got a lot of options with as far as what you can do to display this guy. Let's look at the other heads on this one. Don't lose the cigar. He didn't send the other cigar that came with this one, so when I take photos, I can't take photos with the same head that holds the cigar. Yeah, that looks really good. I'm coming a little tighter. My light's a little harsh here on the workbench. It always is. Pretty. Like I don't have any. Here we go. That looks a little bit better. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I just kind of want to show off the difference between the clean version and the bloody version. But I'm super happy with this. I think my skin tones look great. It's actually kind of nice having another skin tone in hand to like look at and try to figure out. I think these are some of the best portraits I've done. I think they look really great. A couple things I did that I normally don't do that I saw that the other painter did is I usually just do purple in the eye sockets. I actually went in when I was doing the 5 o'clock shadows. I went in with some black pastels and very, very lightly did the corners of the eyes. And man, it just really kind of framed the eyes really, really nice. It looks great on him, so he looks nice and gritty. But yeah, so I just love all this. I went really heavy underneath the armpits where he would sweat. Same thing kind of around the crotch. I added a lot of the wash and stuff. I just kind of let the blood and the wash just kind of, I put it on the leg and just kind of let it pool down in the boot a little bit to hopefully that would make it look more natural. The gloves are just really bloody. Blood's on the claws. Yeah, so I love this version. I think it looks great. But I think that's all I got to say about this. It was a lot of fun to do. I'm going to take final photos here in a little bit. I got a couple touch-ups to do, not too many. But yeah, this will be right just a little over 2 weeks getting these two done. And then we'll get these shipped off. But for those who hung out on the live broadcast, I have a couple live broadcasts I did. Feel free to go back through and look at those if you have time. I go over a lot of the process. Some of it I skipped, like the days. Well, part of it, I had my work area was full of Christmas gear. My attic is right there. And this whole, my full work area is full of boxes. I really didn't have any, I could barely get to my desk. So I really didn't have anywhere to put the camera. But, and part of it, I was in the spray booth a lot, especially with doing the yellow and the blues. I was in the paint booth a lot, and it's just really loud in there. It's hard to video in there. So, but I think I did the skin tones live. What else? I think that was the main one. And then I did a little bit of the blue live. So you can see I did the blue. But yeah, the yellow, unfortunately I didn't do live. And then I didn't show the hand. I just hand painted all the tiger stripes. That's tedious because it's got to be careful. You got to go and do it. It's a lot of cleanup back and forth. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling on because that's what I tend to do. But love this piece. My client loves it. He's super happy. So I'll take photos today, get these mailed out, and I'll get the next one on the bench for that. I think it's going to be another Wolverine. I think I'm going to do an Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. So there'll be like 4 Wolverines in a row. So I'm kind of on a Wolverine roll. But thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out in the live, the YouTube live videos, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.